Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions, where we come together in this holy prayer to honor each other as sons of God. It's just honoring each other as sons of God, the Son, the One, to place value on the true and to see through what's false, to see that it doesn't impact the Son of God. And then indeed, we really don't desire it. We can see these energies of desires. The desires to play is not the Son of God, to play as many, and to say no to infinite happiness. Yet we can see light is here, and the light of divine being and honesty of God is the light here and always with us. No matter what we might think that we would choose to do that's not of God. We choose to have thoughts not of God. We choose to have feelings not of God. Choose to have experience not of God. Yet even when we look at the light, is it still here? And so that's why we choose again, which is to cease to deny the divine light within, and to follow that divine light within, our true voice, unerringly, that leads us to recognize, I'm already saved. In the light of divine being and honesty of God, are we already saved? In our direct experience. In the honesty of God, not in our experience as the play of consciousness. The play of consciousness is made to play like we're not saved yet. Let's ask the divine light. Is the play of consciousness for us to play like we're not saved yet? Then you will agree. Okay, that's a good place to start, to see that we're playing, not that we're not already infinite. We're not already light. And then start looking with Jesus and let him show. Boy, you know, when he starts showing you, yep, there's another place I don't want to be infinite. Yep, there's another place I don't want to be peaceful. But it's the only way to fly, actually. Because otherwise we feel like we're caught in a net. We feel like I can't get out of this because of the design to pretend like we can't get out. The desire to have an experience where it seems like there's no way out. And when we catch that and give that over to a miracle, Jesus, let's ask him really quickly, in the light of divine being, and is there any desire below my level of awareness not to stay in this dream? He said yes. And then at least we know to stay in a dream that denies infinity. And then we just, okay, if he says yes, admit it. It's so simple, like no guilt, just admit it. All right, it's the desire not to admit, the desire not to admit we don't want miracles. So let's ask the divine light. It's funny, but it's not funny. In some ways, when you really hear it, when you really get, okay, so Jesus, in honesty of God, do I want miracles? And if there's yes in the light, we're skidding on the road. If it's no, then we need a miracle just to see that we don't want miracles. We don't want them. We want to control them. He was really talking, give it to me, about wanting to control miracles. That's why he says they're not to be under conscious control, because we want to control everything, including a miracle. It's a desire to try to control love. So it's really good to ask him, like, Jesus, show me where I do not want miracles. And I'm willing to see that a different way. Most natural. See, when we're saying we don't want miracles, we're saying, no, I don't want infinite love. because miracles are natural and they're just natural expressions of love. It's like, no, we put a little block. I want to control the miracle. I want the miracles I want. I want the miracles that look like something in form looks like the way I want it to be. And we can ask the light, is it best to ask the light which miracles to perform and which miracles are needed? Is it most helpful to ask the light? Because I'm seeing that I don't know when to do miracles, really, because we we start to have an idea when we have those little tensions and twitches. But even so, the ego would try to get hold of miracles to try to delay them and control them. Ask the light. Is that true? That's why we just don't know our best, whether we're going backwards or forwards. We need the light to show us which way is the way back. So we start within the light of infinite being and honesty of God, the joy of the Holy Spirit, that we know that the light, if we ask the light for help in our direct experience, we ask that question, will the light help us? And hear the answer. We can see the web we wove, the tangled web, to feel like a spider, like caught in a web. Like there's no way out. That's what we want to feel like. We can ask quickly for a miracle to change that perception that we're stuck in a net. That desired experience of being stuck is the ego. We can just ask real quickly, Jesus, do I have a desired experience? I want to feeling like I'm stuck as an ego. And we offer it. Okay, I'm willing to have a change in perception on the desire to be stuck as an ego. Okay. So you see, like in about 5 minutes, we can have about 20 miracles if we ask for them. Thankfully, Jesus is there to give us the miracles when we ask for them. Lesson 264, I am surrounded by the love of God. The thought of God that's just given for higher order, this higher order thought. He asked Jesus. Jesus says, I am surrounded by the love of God, powerful, more powerful than any other thought. And hear what he says. See what the light says. Yep. That's why they're given by love. For us to use without limit. Is there any limits on the use of I am surrounded by the love of God? Does Jesus have any limits on how many times we can apply that in a day? The highest thought that he's giving. To trade those old thoughts of death in, that we really want to keep. Jesus, are there any thoughts I'm wanting to keep around death? He said, let's just ask really quickly, okay, I'm willing to see that differently and replace it with these thoughts of infinite light. I am surrounded by the love of God. To really be with this thought. That's what he was telling me this morning. Just be with this thought. I'm surrounded by the love of God. And just let that rest in your holy mind, he says. Aww. To welcome the thought. See, we have to welcome these thoughts because we've been trying to build gates and fences and denials and screaming and yelling for them to get out. Let's ask the light. Is that what we've been doing? Like screaming to try to toss the light out, toss that love out as hard as we could? All for desired experience that the light's not here. Yet we look again. There it is. Infinite, unchanging light. Let's focus on the light. Just hone in on that light until we see that's all there is, light. Father, you stand before me. Aw, thank you. And you stand before me as my brother. And you see the power of that? Takes you to your knees. Like Muji says, when you see the truth, your knees bend automatically. And it's helpful to have those knees bend automatically before the Lord thy God. You stand before me and behind me, beside me in the place I see myself. So we can do the light test. Take out the light tester and go, okay, in the light of divine being, does the light, the Father, stand before me in our direct experience? Okay. And in the light, does the Father stand behind me? Test in the light. In beside me, see that the light's beside us. In the place I see myself and everywhere I go. There's a light in the place I see myself. I see you. To see the light within, I see myself as you see me, Father, as light. In the place I see myself in light, and everywhere I go is the light with us everywhere. We think of one place in the light of divine being and find a place where the light isn't, where it's missing in action. Let's look for it, see if it can be missing in action. That's the ego's plan, to pretend that infinite light is MIA. Yet we can look in honesty of God and see the Father stands before me and behind and beside me in the place I see myself and everywhere I go. Is this the truth and the honesty of God? Honesty of divine being and recognition and celebration of itself, celebrating because it sees, it recognizes the light is everywhere. I am surrounded by the love of God and truth and the light of divine being. Are we surrounded by the love of God? And as light beings, can we ever be apart from the love of God in the light of divine being in our direct experience? No. Oh, this is beautiful. It's like another one of these Jesus songs that you sing. You are all in all the things I look upon. So let's look with the light. Light of infinite being, and look around and see the light in everything. Can anything exist without the light of divine being in our direct experience with the light? Are we looking with the light? Can we ever look with not light? Or is that an idea arising? We look around. God is in everything I see. It has to be if we're the light. If the light's everywhere, how else could it be? It has to be this. You are in all things I look upon, the sounds I hear. Oh, it feels beautiful just to hear God in every sound. Doesn't that feel beautiful? To recognize this light, we can recognize the sound of God in every sound. And just listen for the sound of God in every sound. And look for the light of God in everything we see. That's a different kind of day, isn't it? Looking for God in everything. Said we look for the devil. Dun, dun, dun. Where is it? Where am I going to be attacked? Does the light look for attack, or does it see God in everything? Does it see the light in everything? Beyond the conceptual idea of God that we're looking for with our eyes, we're looking with the light. Does the light see anything missing when it looks around? Does it find an error somewhere? In every hand that reaches for my own. In every hand that reaches for my own. To see the light in every hand that reaches the love of every hand. I see God in everything I see. So we can ask, I'm asking Jesus, can we ask for miracles around the thoughts? Is there any desire for an experience, for God not to be in all the things I look upon? Just be shown and admit, okay? I see that. You're telling me, look, God's in everything. I know the light's in everything, yet I don't want to see that. Several beings have talked about that. We could see it. It's like, oh, I don't want to see that God's in everything, but at least we can admit it. And then ask for a miracle. Jesus, I need your help to see God in everything. I need a change of mind. Will you help me? Ask the light if it will help us see this differently and release at least to the miracle. The change in perception, that's just a misperception if we don't see God in everything. The ego is going to go, I don't want to see, I don't want to see, I don't want to see. Yet ask the light, can we see if it's our true desire, can we see God in everything? Is God already in everything, whether we choose to see or not? It's like too late. God's in everything. Can't get away from it. Even though we pretend we want to escape from God. Nope. Still there. All we need is a miracle. All we need to ask for is a miracle to change that perception that God's not in everything we see. It's good to ask together. It's so holy. In every sound I hear, is there any desire not to hear God in every sound I hear? He says yes. When he says yes, good. Now we know. See, how many sounds do you hear that you don't want? You know, you want to say, why is that sound happening? Or we question. Yet that's an opportunity for a miracle. Let's ask for a miracle. Jesus, we'd like to ask together for a miracle in the change in perception. The God is not, the desire for an experience, the God is not in everything I hear. To see that if I reject what I hear, I reject myself. I reject totality, all the love that's here in every sound. See, every fragment, remember he says every fragment carries the power of God. So let those sounds be the reminder that God is here whispering in our ear. Truth. Do we have this power? We can ask the light to hear God in every sound and listen more carefully to the voice of God in every sound. In every hand that reaches for my own. Jesus, is there any desire not to see God in every hand that reaches for my own? To not perceive that every hand that reaches for my own is God. Wow. Okay. So let's ask for a change in perception. Jesus, is it possible to ask? Do we have the power to ask for a change in perception? That every hand that reaches for our own is not God. A desire for an experience that every hand reaching toward us is not of God. Wow. Just ask for a change. Ask for a miracle to change that perception. So we can see God in every hand that reaches. What joy is that? So that every hand that reaches toward us, we see God in it. That's the celebration of kingdom come. Thy will be done. In you, time disappears. In the light of divine being, infinite love, does time disappear? Can time be found in that light? Let's look around in there. Or is time made as an experience to hide from infinite light? Let's ask the light that. Even when the light's here, we still want to hide from it. Create a timeline. Okay. Let's ask for a miracle. Jesus, can we have a miracle on the perception that time exists? The play, wanting to play in time. And wanting to play, to not see, we're continually surrounded by the love of God. That play, of not wanting to be surrounded by God, which does that generate the experience of a timeline? We can ask the Spirit. Oh, we can ask for change in perception. The desire to just eke that forgiveness out like another couple of minutes, you know? Let's see that. Jesus, are there times when I'm trying to stretch out that forgiveness, delay it, not to accept that immediate miracle so I can play on a timeline? He says, yes, okay, I want a change in perception that's acceptable, that the Son of God needs that play of time. In truth, does the Son of God need to play in time? Does what holy need to play in time? To pretend it's not timeless? He says you must believe that salvation is in it to play in time. So we can ask, Jesus, this is a good place for a miracle right here. Any kind of desire for the experience of salvation through time. The time is the means to salvation. And if you don't want to give that one over, which sometimes we don't, we ask for a miracle, a change in perception that we don't want to turn over time. Turn back time. Let's turn it back into where it belongs. Infinite light of being does not know time. So there's a desire for the experience of time. Yet the remedy is given. Does love, infinite love, know what time is? Looking at its watch. Going, golly, I'm not awake yet. Just like, you know, sometimes you get that feeling like, when is this awake thing going to be over? Like when? See, it wants, that's a play to want time, because the light is here now, so it doesn't know time. So as long as we stay as the light, we don't have to be worried about any of that time stuff. In you, in the light, does time disappear in our direct experience? And place becomes a meaningless belief. Okay, let's look at that desire for place. Let's ask the light, is place a meaningless belief? Okay, so Jesus, I'd like to ask for a miracle in the belief that place, in the meaningless belief of place. Can we put that in the light of divine being and see how long that lasts? In truth, that place have some kind of meaning to infinite light being? The whole concept that place exists. Does the light go looking for places? The light know what a place is? Does the light know what space is? Space and place. See, the spatial domain is the space, is the domain of thought, of consciousness. It likes to pin the tail on something. It likes to put a little marker and say, I'm in Kansas. No, you're not. You're in God. Are we in God? Click your heels. That's what Jesus is saying. Click your heels, Dorothy, and see that you're already home in your bed in the Father's lap. For what surrounds your Son and keeps him safe is love itself. And the light of divine being and the honesty of God is our safety in love. In infinite light. Is infinite light the only true safety? So we can trust whatever Jesus says and ask him, okay, is there any desire for an experience of safety through the ego? See what he says. See, the desire to be saved through the ego, to deny the safety of love. Yet we can turn it over quickly for a miracle. And have a change in perception that my safety lies in something other than infinite love, and place that on the light. There is no source but this, and nothing is that does not share its holiness. There is no source but this, love, and nothing is that. Nothing is that does not share its holiness. Does anything not share the holiness of the light? That stands beyond your one creation, or without the love which holds all things within itself. Father, your Son is like yourself. In the light of divine being and honesty of God, are we the light? We like the light, yet we like to play that we're not the light. Is there any desire not to be the light? Then we ask for a miracle, a change in perception, a change in perception that shows us it's untrue. It's untrue not to be the light. Is it untrue not to just be light? We come to you in your own name today to be at peace within your everlasting love. Is the light perfect peace in our direct experience as light beings? And is the light with us throughout the day? Unless we choose not to see it, not to accept it. My brothers, join with me in this today. Jesus, we join with you in this today, and we join with our brothers in this today, this holy seeing of what's whole and complete, and honoring that. This is salvation's prayer. Must we not join in what will save the world along with us? Must we not join with what would save the world along with us? Will we choose today not to join in what is true to our salvation? The light is in everything. Amen.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for bringing your light to shine here now. And let's join together in the light of truth with Jesus, our elder brother. Today's lesson is the Course in Miracles lesson 264. I am surrounded by the love of God. And the desire given by Jesus is to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God. Jesus, in honesty of God, do I have the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God?
Yes.
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 If Jesus reveals to you that you have a desire below your level of awareness that you are valuing more than the love of the Father. Admit the desire and ask for a miracle. Jesus, do I value the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God more than I value the love of God?
Yes.
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 Jesus, am I ready for the miracle on this desire, or is there more to see?
More to see.
More to see.
More to see.
More.
Ready.
Jesus, will you show me that the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God does not have the value that I think it does?
Yes.
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 Jesus, have I accepted a miracle on this desire? No.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
There can be many miracles on the way to fully releasing a desire as Jesus moves us deeper into the hidden corners of the mind. Jesus, am I complete with this desire to find pleasure and denying I am surrounded by the love of God? Or do I need to go even deeper and look further with you?
Deeper. Deeper.
Deeper.
Deeper.
Deeper.
Jesus, do I value the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God more than I value the love of God?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus, am I ready for the miracle on this desire, or is there more to see?
More to see.
More to see.
Ready.
Ready.
More.
Jesus, will you show me that the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God does not have the value that I think it does? Yes.
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 Jesus, have I accepted a miracle on this desire?
Yes.
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 No.
No.
There can be many miracles on the way to fully releasing a desire as Jesus moves us deeper into the hidden corners of the mind. Jesus, am I complete with this desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God? Or do I need to go even deeper and look further with you?
Deeper.
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 Jesus, do I value the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God more than I value the love of God?
Yes.
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 Jesus, am I ready for the miracle on this desire, or is there more to see?
Ready.
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 More to see.
Ready. Jesus, will you show me that the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God does not have the value that I think it does? Yes.
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 Jesus, have I accepted a miracle on this desire?
Yes.
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 There can be many miracles on the way to fully releasing a desire as Jesus moves us deeper into the hidden corners of the mind. Jesus, am I complete with this desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God? Or do I need to go even deeper and look further with you?
Deeper.
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 Jesus, do I value the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God more than I value the love of God?
Yes.
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 No.
Jesus, am I ready for the miracle on this desire, or is there more to see? Ready.
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 Jesus, will you show me that the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God does not have the value that I think it does?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Jesus, have I accepted a miracle in this desire? Yes.
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 There can be many miracles on the way to fully releasing a desire as Jesus moves us deeper into the hidden corners of the mind. Jesus, am I complete with this desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God? Or do I need to go even deeper and look further with you?
Deeper.
Deeper.
Complete for now. Jesus, will you show me that the desire to find pleasure in denying I am surrounded by the love of God does not have the value that I think it does? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus, have I accepted a miracle on this desire?
Yes.
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 I hear we are complete with looking together for now. Thank you, Jesus, for the miracle. If you don't feel complete, or if any part of this desire resurfaces, you can join with Jesus to look deeper. He also encourages us to join with a brother to hear his voice clearly. And you can do this by putting a request in the messenger chat group, ACIM, Jesus the New Covenant. And now we'll practice speaking the voice for God. Jesus is guiding us to ask, listen, and share only what he says specifically about this lesson. What have you learned? What he wants you to remember as a take-home? Or where he has revealed that you have heaven and hell upside down? Every share is helpful for healing the whole mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. I'm just hearing Jesus tell me now, saying, you don't want to feel loved. You're labeling yourself as unworthy of love. You enjoy and relish the perceived pain of feeling unloved. And you're blaming. Deep down inside, he says, I'm blaming God for it. So it's all backwards and upside down. He says, all the while, you're the greatest love ever created. So he said, take your hands off of your eyes and see with me that you're already perfect. And there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Yeah, he was telling me somewhat the same thing. It started out where the Mary mind wanted to try to comprehend intellectually what is God's love, and that got blocked, stopped almost immediately. And he was showing me that I wanted to try to control it. And he then gave me the metaphor, the ocean, which is the love of God, which is all there is. And I'm swimming around asking where the water is, like clueless. I have no idea where the love of God is. And so he said, join with me, look at this. Just be quiet and be still. And what are you hearing? What are you seeing? And there was this experience of that noise just disappearing in a moment. And he's saying, look for this today with me over and over again. Keep asking to see the love in everything, in everyone, in everything I hear. And he said, ask for my strength because you think you're too weak to do this. You think you're just going to fall off the horse again and again and again and again and again. And then you get right back on again. You get right back on again. You always get right back on again. With my help, the desire to see what is true is there. See that you have the strength to go all the way with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I woke up in a kind of a funny way this morning and I couldn't figure it. There was nothing outside me happening, but then I realized it was the desire coming through here. And in the lesson, when the question was asked, do I want to see God in everything? I got a clear no. I'm like, no, you don't. And I did get a miracle and I'm happy for that. And I'm just going to stay with that. It's like you said, Mary, all day asking for help. If I don't see that I'm surrounded by love and everything I see here, I'm just going to keep and like ask for help for changing my perception on what I'm seeing with all my senses. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Is anyone else hearing to share what they're hearing from Jesus? I'm hearing we are complete. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your devotion and your presence here in this holy circle of light. Love and blessings.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mighties. We have a couple of announcements. This afternoon at 1 o'clock p.m. U.S. Central Time, we will join together again to look at this lesson in desire. We do this every Monday and Wednesday and Friday to accommodate our brothers around the world in different time zones. And this will be held on freeconferencecall.com. And Renee will post the invite and the details in our messenger chat group, ACIM Jesus, a New Covenant. You're welcome to contact her if you have any questions. And then we'll join again this evening at 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time to look at this lesson in desire one final time today. Also, just as a reminder, we have a retreat coming up. The ACIM and the Mystical Teachings of Jesus retreat. And that's going to be held, see here, on October 5th through the 11th. And it's just going to be a beautiful time, a deep dive into the mind to open up our relationship with Jesus, with a voice for God, learning how to apply the power of the mystical teachings of Jesus to help ourselves awaken. And it's going to be full on, packed with movies and light circles and meditations and videos and one-on-one joinings and coaching, and just the opportunity to isolate from the distractions of the world of form and allow ourselves to be immersed into the love of God already inside of our mind. So it's going to be a great week, and the opportunity for extended time if anyone wishes. So please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. And as always, thank you for being here, shining your light, and we'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Love you all. Thank you.